Hello and welcome to another card video. Today I don't have any new unopened cards to open, so I thought I would do another cards from my closet video. The cards from my closet videos are videos where I highlight items from my collection that I acquired when I was growing up and that I found stored in my closet when I got back into the hobby. These items that I highlight are not always the most valuable items that I found, but they're items that I just enjoy looking at and that I think are interesting cards. And that's definitely what we have today. But before I get into it, I'd like to ask if you enjoy my videos, please like the videos and subscribe to my channel. And also hit the little bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. So let's get started. Today we have the 1980 Topps Super Set. And the first thing you'll notice about the 1980 Topps Supers is that they are oversized cards. These are cards that are 5 inches by 7 inches. Or in my research that I did, I saw a website said it was 4 7/8 inches by 6 7/8 inches, but essentially 5 by 7. So they're oversized cards. There's 60 cards in the set, and there are 16 Hall of Famers in the checklist. So just over 1/4 of the checklist are in the Hall of Fame. Plus, that does not count Pete Rose, who we all know would be in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for his off-the-field issues. So the set is loaded with Hall of Fame players. The set, as you'll see as we go through it, it has all headshot photos. There are no action photos. And the set is kind of known for its crisp photography. And I think with the headshots, the intention was for this to kind of be a more high-end quality photography. They're posed headshots. The colors are nice and crisp. And they're just a nice looking set. So let's get started in looking at it. I found these cards just in a box, like I said, in my closet. They were in a stack just like you see here. And I do have the entire set of 60 cards. And these are in the numerical order of the checklist. So it starts with Hall of Famer Willie Stargel. And we'll take a look at the back of the card, and you'll see the back of the cards are as simple as you can get. There's no stats or anything. It just has his name, team, and position, has the Topps logo, and then at the bottom it has the card number, 1 of 60, and it has a copyright 1980 Topps. Now, I did hear or read in my research that there is a set, or this set comes in a white cardstock. Obviously, this is gray, and there is a version of it that comes in a white cardstock. I believe the white cardstock is more rare than the gray, but if anyone would know more about that, I'd be really interested if you could leave a comment and tell us what you know about the differences in this set. So, taking a look at the front again quickly, you'll notice the design is just the headshot picture, and the only name on the card is the stamped on autograph of the player. So besides that fake autograph, there is no indication of the name or position or team or anything on the card. It's just a straight picture with an autograph. So again, I think this was meant to be like a more high quality photography for this set. So that's Willie Stargel. He's in the Hall of Fame. And then we have Mike Schmidt with the Phillies, another Hall of Famer. Johnny Bench, Jim Palmer, Jim Rice, and Reggie Jackson. So we're through the first 6 cards of the checklist, and all 6 of them are in the Hall of Fame. We've gone through 6 players before we get to a player that's not in the Hall of Fame. Then we get to Ron Gidery. As far as the condition goes, you can see this Ron Gidery card is a little cut off center. And I think if we would zoom in on some of the corners on the cards, actually this one doesn't look too bad. Some of the corners are a little rough on some of them, probably from maybe getting banged around in a box when it was picked up or whatever. But overall, I think my set is in pretty good condition. Here's Lee Mazzilli with the Mets. Don Baylor of the Angels. Fred Lynn. Here's Ken Singleton. Another Hall of Famer, Rod Carew. Nice close-up headshot there of Rod Carew. Steve Garvey. George Brett, Hall of Fame player. Here's Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer. Dave Kingman of the Cubs. Here's Dave Parker, Hall of Famer Dave Winfield in that bright yellow San Diego Padres jersey. And here's Pete Rose, like I said, not in the Hall of Fame, but we all know the reasons why he would be for just his on-the-field accomplishments. Pete Rose with the Phillies. Here's Nolan Ryan. In my research of this set, I didn't find a whole lot of information, but one thing I did find is that this card had to be like airbrushed because Nolan Ryan had been with the Angels and he signed as a free agent with the Astros. So the picture was redone to put him in an Astros uniform, to change it from an Angels to an Astros. Also, typically in a lot of these sets, I don't know for sure, but this is likely one of, if not the most valuable card in the set. Nolan Ryan cards typically are. So here's Greg Nettles, Carl Yastrzemski, and this card is very miscut. That's very off-center, left to right. You see the border is much larger on the left than it is on the right. Probably can't really tell anything on the back because there's no landmarks on the back to tell by. Tommy John, known more for the surgery he had nowadays than his pitching, although he was an excellent pitcher. George Foster, another member of the Big Red Machine. Here's J.R. Richard, who unfortunately he just passed away fairly recently. I think I've talked about him in other card sets I've opened, how he was such a dominant pitcher there for a while, and then unfortunately he had a stroke, and he tried to make a comeback after that, but he was never able to get back to the major leagues. And like I said, I think it was just a couple months ago that he passed away. So kind of a sad story with J.R. Richard with his health issues. Here's Keith Hernandez with the Cardinals. He might be better known nowadays with the Mets, especially with, I think he broadcasts Mets games now. But the year before this set, 1979, he was co-MVP of the National League with Willie Stargel, so he gets a card in this set. Here's Bob Horner of the Braves. One thing I remember about Bob Horner is that at one point he hit 4 home runs in one game. I know that. I remember that. Here's Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. And this is, I believe, Steve Kemp. Yep, Steve Kemp. Wasn't sure by the autograph. Steve Kemp with the Tigers. And now we get to the Brewers section. There's 2 Brewers here. Gorman Thomas and Sixto Loscano. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the players that were chosen here. You wonder maybe like Steve Kemp here, and the Brewers are Thomas and Loscano. You would maybe expect the Brewer players to be Paul Molitor or Robin Yount. I mean, as a Brewer fan, that's probably what I would have expected. But when you think about it, Molitor, I think had only played a couple years. Yount had been in the league a little longer, but he hadn't like really established himself as one of the best players in the league. And I actually looked this up in preparation for this, that these were the Brewers in the set. And Gorman Thomas in 1979 had led the American League in home runs, and with 45, and he had finished 7th in the MVP balloting. And Sixto Loscano had a really great season in 1979 also. So, and he finished 15th in the MVP balloting for 1979. So sometimes you wonder how the players got chosen, but you kind of have to remember the era, and maybe they had a great season the year before. Here's Bruce Sutter with the Cubs before he got traded to the Cardinals. And here's actually another Brewer, Cecil Cooper, and I would definitely expect him to be in the set. Here's Larry Boa. Al Oliver with the Texas Rangers. Here's a recent Hall of Famer, Ted Simmons. He was just inducted into the Hall of Fame just a few weeks ago. And we have Gary Templeton with the St. Louis Cardinals. And this would be just before he was traded to the San Diego Padres for Ozzie Smith. So that was a big trade at the time. Ozzie Smith went from the Padres to the Cardinals, and Templeton went from the Cardinals to the Padres. And Jerry Koosman, I had to kind of look on the back for the name, with the Twins. Here's Darrell Porter with the Royals. Roy Smalley, Twin. We have Craig Swann. This was the one I definitely had to look on the back for. Craig Swann. Again, you kind of wonder why a Craig Swann would be in this set, but there must have been, he must have had a really good season like the year before in 1979. This is Jason Thompson. This is Andre Thornton with Cleveland. And Rick Manning with Cleveland. And Rick Manning was later traded to the Brewers for Gorman Thomas, who we saw earlier. I remember when I was a kid, Gorman Thomas getting traded, that was a very traumatic thing at the time. Gorman Thomas was an all-time fan favorite, and the Brewers traded him to the Indians for Rick Manning. Here's Kent Takalvi with the Pirates. He's known for that submarine delivery of his as a pitcher. Here's Hall of Famer Phil Niekro. And here is Buddy Bell with the Rangers. And here is Randy Jones. I had to look up that name. I'll look on the back for that one. Randy Jones with the Padres. Brian Downing with the Angels. Amos Otis of the Royals. Rick Bossetti of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's Hall of Famer Gary Carter with the Expos. Here's Larry Parrish with the Expos. Jack Clark with the San Francisco Giants, maybe better known later on for his time with the Cardinals. Bruce Bochy, the Mariners. Cesar Cedeno with the Astros. I believe this is Chet Lemon Can barely see the autograph against the blue sky there. But yep, it's Chet Lemon. And he actually signed it Chester. So it's Chet Lemon of the White Sox. Dave Revering of the Oakland A's. Vita Blue with the Giants. And card number 60 is Davey Lopes with the Dodgers. So I just find these cards very interesting. I love the photography, love the headshots, the nice close-ups of the players. The value of this set, I looked it up on eBay. It's not all that valuable. It looked like it had sold for around $15, maybe $20. So there's not a lot of monetary value to it. But I just think it's a cool set. I mean, with the oversized cards, the close-up pictures, the colorful pictures, I just think it's very interesting to look at, and I love looking at the old players, remembering these names. So, and I hope you do too. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, especially if you know more about this set than I do. I tried to find out some information. I didn't find out a whole lot. So if you know more about the set than I do, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what people have to say, especially maybe if you know something about the white cardstock version of this. If it's how much more rare is it? So I would love to hear what people have to say. So I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.